panelists today, Denise, Niccolo, and Cecilia. I know Jeremy will say a few words about them to introduce them. So just want to say thank you to all the people that have registered and that are already joining massively, I would say, this webinar. This for us is the first one of a series that will go on in the next weeks or probably months. And because we think it's a good tool to be in touch and getting close and closer to our network, which includes in this webinar, for instance, people from Italy, producers or people in the industry that are just waiting to cross the ocean again and come here to bring their own products, and also people from the industry in the United States, Houston, Texas, and many other places that wanted to join us to see what we have to say. So we'll be talking in a few weeks about still talking about food and wine items from Italy from different angles. We'll definitely cover other geographic areas like Louisiana and New Orleans. We'll be talking about Arkansas a little bit more with Denise and the people that work with her. We'll be talking about some also success cases because we want to see the positive side possibly of this situation. We'll talk about some companies and producers that have been able to succeed using e-commerce strategies to sell their products online, on small platforms or bigger platforms. So with no further ado, I will give you back the word and the stage. Jeremy, just reminding our participants that they can use a Q&A tool at the bottom of your video if you want to interact with us. And I will be, selecting a few questions because we want to try to contain the webinar in 20 minutes or so. And thank you to Regione Calabria as well, which is supporting and sponsoring this webinar. And that's it. I'll be here to help if you guys need me.
Thank you so much, Maurizio. I'm so glad to be here. And thank you also, like you said, to the Regione Calabria for their support in putting this together. And thank you to all the people who are watching out there. What do we have? Something like 200 attendees. The response was really robust, and we're really glad to be coming together as a community. We have three fantastic speakers. I'm just gonna say a couple of words about each one of them before I give the floor to our first speaker. We're really excited to be joined by Denise. Hi, Denise. Denise Thomas is a global strategist and business development expert for the World Trade Center in Arkansas at the University of Arkansas. And she's going to be talking about opportunities in Arkansas State that a lot of Italian producers don't immediately think of. She's got some really interesting things to say. Cecilia Ercolino, who is online with us. Hi, Cecilia. Thank you for being here. Cecilia is a veteran food importer. I mean, we've worked with her. She comes every year to the Taste of Italy Festival. I love her portfolio. I love her experience. She's one of the best speakers we've ever had at the Taste of Italy. She's got some wonderful insights about sales strategies that, to face the challenges and the opportunities of the post-pandemic era. I'm really excited that she could be here. Thank you, Cecilia. And then lastly, not least, but last, my really good friend, Niccolo Lorimer, who's just a wonderful guy, one of the just great energy people to be around. He just lights up a room when he walks in. He's a great speaker, and he's an expert in logistics and shipping. He's the guy who gets all the good wine to all the trade fairs, all the consumer fairs across the United States. He knows more about logistics and shipping, especially when it comes to wine, than anybody else I know. And we're going to start with Niccolo. Niccolo, the title of this seminar, and thank you for being here, the title of the seminar is Open for Business, right? And Italy is open for business. I wanted to ask you, a lot of people forget that before the pandemic, we were dealing with the tariffs and the trade wars. And I'm hoping you can talk to our attendees today about what's the status of the tariffs. Now, we've all kind of forgotten that that's still hanging out there. And then what should, in terms of your expertise and experience as a logistics person, what should Italian producers, both food and wine, be looking out for in this time? What challenges, what opportunities? So I'll give the floor to Niccolo.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. It's good to be with you all, and lovely to see everybody on their casual wears and just being ourselves at our own homes, being safe. So I hope all are well. And I want to say, yes, we've been hit twice. We first had the problem with the tariffs. We fought against them. Fortunately, we were spared on the ruling in February. There's a quite active group with my friend Kevin Rapp in Washington, D.C. We've done as much as we could to fight to involve Congress and receive quite a few signatures against tariffs. This doesn't mean that it's not a weapon that has been used before and will be used again to vindicate a number of issues, whether it's a digital tax, or whether it's the Airbus industry. But these issues which America has with Europe, unfortunately, are being dumped on the wine industry, and it could be extremely damaging to us all. However, that is we're waiting for an answer on that. I don't think there's going to be much action regarding the tariffs in the upcoming months. However, of course, the present state of affairs is penalizing our industry, particularly the restaurant business, small businesses that have a real tough time, of course, not being able to open the doors, and when they will open the doors, how to really handle the social distancing issues. Now, that said, the industry is doing extremely well. So this is a surprising thing. We have a 30% increase in the retail business at this point. So that's making up for the business that is being lost at the wholesale, at the on-premise, the restaurant. And restaurants are reinventing themselves. And again, a particular chain of Mexican restaurants I know in California just recently decided to sell ingredients so people can make their own dinners, and then they pick up the wine along the way. So we see an increase in that. We see an increase also with a direct to consumer. I've just put 2 containers on the water of pre-sold goods for wine clubs. So people are drinking, maybe they're even drinking more. Now it's our business to educate them and to make sure that they're drinking the right wines, the ones that are made by real people, etc. And I have, Jeremy, we know the kind of wines that we prefer. However, it is all is changing. The small restaurants, they're not able to negotiate all of this. We were talking with the Gruppo Italiano just recently regarding, how are you going to keep the doors open, delivering to whom? The offices are not open, etc. So there are challenges. That said, the FDA, FSVP, COLAs, they're all easing their roles of control. We want to feed the people. We want to have want them to drink, and so that we are in a particular special position today, and a lot of the bureaucracy is being reduced. So as you know, some of the restaurants now are allowed to send wine out with a carryout. That wasn't the case in certain states. Now, it's a complicated, big business. A lot of things have changed in terms of shipping, but again, we are considered essential. And so this is the time to really get into the business and don't despair.
Well, in this particular situation, I have to say it's a horrific situation we're in, but at the same point, it has been very, very good because it's a test for all of us to not get too comfortable in our positions in what we're doing, because there is no way that the future will be the same as today. And if you are not on edge and always thinking about how to move forward, how to reinvent yourself, and how to make new ways for your business to operate in the future, you will be passé very, very quickly. And that's what we've seen. You wake up one day like we did, and all of a sudden we were honored by being essential. I've never been essential before, but that was to not be taken lightly. And what this situation has brought on that we have seen that's very positive is people have opened their minds to not just buy their same old brands. The brands they've been buying for years are now not the only brands that they're looking for. Because of shortages from the regular sales channels, there has now been new opportunities that we've seen again and again, both in retail, but also in food service. Everybody's had to change their strategies. So we've seen a lot of vendors from Italy who continuously do the same old, we continue with our way of operating. We know we're the best name, we know this. It doesn't function. Instead, innovative people who do not have a grip on the market yet, who are willing to take a chance to go out to look for new channels, new opportunities, new ways, are the ones that we are seeing coming. We want to have that fresh breath of air from a company that didn't exist here yesterday, but all of a sudden we've found out that their products are amazing. They are willing to do the work, to do the labeling regulations, to quickly get their FSMA documentation together, and to cooperate. We can get them into new places that they would never have been looked at before. Buyers out in the retail stores, whether larger chains or smaller independents, are open-minded. They're hungry. They want new. Their customers are asking for new. It doesn't need to be a new product, but it can be a new brand, an innovative niche on something, but especially it is the companies themselves that make the difference. We've seen quite a few new requests for distribution here from companies that they do what they need to. They say, tell me what you need from me, we'll have it done, just help me get out there. And it is a wonderful, wonderful new breath of fresh air to see. There are also new kind of directions to go. We've seen a resurge on not just the regular internet businesses, but new and innovative ways to get direct to consumer sales, which we before didn't really have. Companies that go out and build up their promotional portfolios to go in with new ways of selling themselves. I have one of my old vendors who wasn't able to sell their products in Italy in the same ways they always had. All of a sudden, they built up a big marketing portfolio, handmade by themselves and their regular marketing team. And all of a sudden, tripled the last couple of months their sales. Amazing. Because they were thinking outside of the box. And it is a beautiful, beautiful new trend that we see. So for the companies that want and have the strength and will to be different, to go after new customers, new markets, new locations, they are the ones that we are seeing succeed in all of this and doing very well, as opposed to having to just lay off all of their teams, but instead invest in this opportunity. We've had to do the same here as well. We can't just sit by and let this be a detriment for us. We need to fight. We need to find new ways. We need to innovate ourselves as well. So I think that there are many, many ways for the people who want to be successful now. There's one thing I really want to mention too, though, that we do have a responsibility in all of this, not just to be successful and get into new markets, but at the same point, help the ones who can't make it. There are so many ways that especially food and wine companies here can assist all the people that haven't been as lucky as we are that are sitting here. So for everybody that can, bring in new products, sell new products, but make sure you donate a part of it as well.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And to the other two presenters, you guys are spot on. I'm really enjoying listening to this because of the energy and the reinvention of one's brand, their company, what they're doing. Arkansas is really a very interesting state. We're a small state. There's only 3 million people that live in the state. The World Trade Center, Arkansas, is actually located in the northwestern corner of the state, but we service all of the state, and we will service other neighboring states that may not have a World Trade Center. World Trade Centers are a reciprocal agreement, so we play well together. So we do have an international presence, and we help companies grow and expand. Within the market in Arkansas, The part that I think that really plays into this conversation is that there are over 300 representatives that work with retailers globally that live here in this market. So we would partner with one of those retailer brand vendors. We would partner with Cecilia and Niccolo to talk to them about what we may be able to do to create a complete supply chain from beginning to end, helping them get ready for the US market, making sure they meet all the minimum requirements, exceeding some of those standards if at all possible, and then identifying partners that they can work with within the Arkansas market to get them anywhere in the world with their product and or service. And that's the beauty of our state. It's one of the wonderful things that we have going for us is, yes, we are the home of Walmart, but everyone can't work within the Walmart framework. Everyone can't be a Walmart vendor. There's so many other retailers that people can look at. And in this market, we touch on all of those markets globally. We have people here who service companies in India. We have people here who service vendors that are in China. So it's really a unique situation. The part that I think is the most interesting is there's so many ties specifically to Italy within our state. For example, the University of Arkansas Fayetteville has a campus in Rome, and we go back and forth to facilitate things there. We do workshops there. We've done 2 trade missions already, and we've done things through that Rome University. We also have a small community here just right down the street from me called Tontitown. And that is a history of Henry de Tonti, who moved here, and it's all Italian products and Italian food. There are growers, there's vineyards, there's wineries. And the beauty of it is, I always say it's a little interesting because it's pasta and fried chicken. So it's very Southern, it's very Arkansas, and it's something that we love. And it's just a great place. I think that for Italian companies that are really looking at moving into the US market, considering Arkansas is an important part of their business strategy because it's an easier touch state. It's easier to get into, it's easier to make the connections and to get into those big retailers without the drama of having to maintain the standard that they have. Those vendors will help you do that. And they work well with others because they have to work well with others. Everybody's in their lane, but there's still enough profitability for that retailer or for that manufacturer to make the numbers that they need to make to sustain the relationships to be able to move forward.